Welcome to Derek Does. Today, we're doing these. Hi, welcome back to another Derek Does. I'm Derek, and if you're new here, please subscribe. Have any questions, put them down in the comments below, and I will answer them, or somebody more knowledgeable than me will answer them also. So, today, we're going to be doing an icon of the footwear, at least in America, and it's these, the LL Bean hunting shoe. Now they call it a shoe, but it is a boot, just like a lot of military boots are called, the service shoe, but it's really just a short boot. This is also it's the main hunting shoe from LL Bean. These are an icon of the hunting world, but also with urbanites will wear these. Anybody can wear these boots. These are just really comfortable boots. They're kind of waterproof. They're great for hunting. They're great for just outdoor stuff. They're just great for anywhere where there's any bit of a moisture. These are the boots that a lot of people just love. And they've been made in Maine from LL Bean for the past 100 years. I remember a couple years ago they had the 100th anniversary. I guess that'd be in 2021. And they made a special brown version that mimicked the original one that they made way back in 1921. Now these were made at LL Bean because Mr. Bean did not the Mr. Bean you know from Mr. Bean, his TV show with Roland Atkinson. This is the Bean that was a bit avid hunter, avid fisherman, and he got tired of having wet feet, so he kind of invented a pair of boots with a rubber bottom and a leather top. And they were successful for him, so he decided to make them. The story goes he made 100 pair. He sold them. 90 came back because they leaked. And so what he did is he did one thing to fix that, and I'll show you what that is. Sent them back out again, and he's been making them ever since. Well, he hasn't, but the company's been making them ever since. The LL Bean hunting shoe. The main hunting shoe. Sorry, keep throwing LL Bean in there. They also make a version of these called the Bean Boot, which is an updated version of the actual hunting shoe. And it's just made more for, not really for hunters, but it's made more for suburban people to wear. It's just more comfortable. It has better rubber on the bottom that doesn't wear away as bad, because those people wear them mostly on concrete, where if you're really a hunter or a fisherman, that sort of thing, you would buy these and you'd be walking in the woods, so you're not going to wear away the bottoms as you would if you're walking on asphalt or concrete. But I'm just going to be talking about these particularly because this is the original, and this pair I just found. These are actually probably, judging from the label, these are from the 80s. And they're in my size, 11. Hey. So I'm gonna go, I'll show you details, close-ups of all these, of the boot, how they're made, what to look for. These have been copied 1,000 times by other manufacturers. You can find these from, a lot of times I'll go to a thrift store and I'll see a pair and I'll realize it's from Sperry or whatever the company is. And other brands make copies of these, but there's the one original and it's LL Bean. And usually they're always made in the USA. I think the Bean Boot isn't, I'm not positive. Maybe they have some that do, some don't. And they come in different sizes. This is, I believe, a 10-inch, but they make a short one like a shoe. And then they make like a 6-inch, an 8-inch, a 10-inch. They make I think up to 14 or something. Huge. So you can get whatever type of boot you want. They are, I don't know, they used to be, I assume they still do that. LL Bean would redo the bottoms for you. You could send them in and you could have the new bottoms put on your boot. But let's take a look at close-ups. But first, I'll put this pair on and you can see how they look with a pair of outdoor pants. Or me wearing outdoor pants and the boots. All right, here they are with the pant legs down. They're really a comfortable boot. They're loose. They have room for thick socks as you would want. And if you want to wear them up, if you want to tuck them in, they would look something like this. So here's the boot in close-up detail. Again, this pair is used. It is not new. It is from probably the 80s. The way to always see these, and these are really just classic, they always have this rubber bottom, leather top. The thing about the LL Bean, they have this chain. See that chain sole on that? And then they're on both of them. And it has a little bit of wear there and a little bit of wear, but not bad at all. And on the bottom, you can actually see it says made in the USA. And then has 11, and actually these are mediums, 11 mediums. And the HF, I can date, and I'll put it down below if I can, of what year these are actually from. Now this pair is the lighter brown. They do have a darker brown, and they also come in various other colors throughout the years, like a specialty thing. I do have a red pair that I'll show you after this. That's a woman's pair that I picked up that I have for sale. And these, I don't know if I'll keep these or not. I don't know. They fit me and I love them, but I have a lot of boots. So what it is, you know, it's just a lace up. It has just that classic 80s shoelace that they always did. The thing I was telling you about earlier about that LL Bean fixed was this triple seam along between where the rubber and the leather meet. Originally it had a 1 thread seam, and that's where it was leaking. So we came up with the 3 thread. And I believe they all use, if for, you know, sewing machine nerds, they use a Puritan sewing machine to do that. I'm pretty positive. Now they also have this 5 bar across the top. That's kind of like their thing. Their thing is also, like I showed you, the chain bottoms. And on the back, they have some unique features. They have the Maine hunting shoe, LL Bean, Freeport, Maine. That's where the company's located. That's where they make the boots, or did. They have this pull up that's actually a piece of leather that comes out and it splits. So when you pull up your leather, like normally like on a boot, you would just have this tied here. And like you might have a piece of leather that goes down. But this one, they spread it out. So when you pull these boots up, you're actually pulling on both sides, which actually gives you more force getting that boot over your foot. And that's kind of a nice little feature they have. I mean, this is a solid piece of leather for the most part, but it has this extra piece of stuff right there. Now the inside, they're not lined, this pair, but they do have different versions where you can get them like fleece lined. You can get them like that artificial lining for insulation and that sort of thing. And they all, again, as I said, they come in different sizes, or different sizes. When I talk sizes, I'm talking up and down sizes, not the actual shoe size. Obviously they have different sizes, and they have half sizes now, which I didn't used to. Here's the tag, and you can see that's an 80s LL Bean tag. That's what they look like back then. If these were older, this would be a black tag and would have LL Bean on it. I've never had a pair of boots in that, but I have had some vests and other items with the black LL Bean, and that would be from the 40s or 50s. And I think in the 60s they did a different type of design. In the 80s they came up with this design, and today it's a different design totally. Inside they just have a sole, a footbed in there. The thing about these, if you buy these used, it's not like buying a regular pair of boots where the previous owner has like there's not a footbed. Like a regular pair of boots, the footbed is, you know, leather, and underneath it is a thing of cork, and then a thing of leather, and your actual feet and toes will embed the shape of that cork bed, and that's why your boots always fit great or your shoes fit great. But when you buy a used pair, you can kind of feel the other owner's foot. This one you don't, because it's just a insole. So you could even take that insole out, put a brand new insole, and you got yourself a brand new pair of boots to you. So there's the boot, and again, I think it's labeled here with some numbers. There's the size 11, and it has some other stuff, but it's worn away a little bit. But they're really nice. I like these boots. They're just classic, and they're not big clunky boots. They're lightweight. You know, you can throw them in a bag. They don't weigh a ton like a old pair of boots that would weigh multiple pounds. This pair, you know, maybe a pound each, maybe a little bit over a pound each, but not bad at all. And here's just an example. This is what I was talking about. I have a red pair. This is actually the Bean boot. And you can see they're a little different than the hunting boot. But this was more of a fashion pair for a lady, you know, with red and red leather. And that's shorter. It's only probably an 8-inch. I don't even think it's a 6-inch. I think it's an 8-inch. But you can tell it's just a little different. And it's made, but you can see they've redesigned the inside a little bit. And this one has a different type of insole, and the rubber's different than this one. Even though they look really identical, they're not. They are a different boot. So it's up to you. And you can get both of these on LL Bean. I believe these run about $160 new from the company. So if you find a used pair for much less than that, it's well worth saving the money. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode on the Maine hunting shoe from LL Bean. These are vintage again, probably from the 80s. They're just a great pair of boots. If you're looking for a pair of boots like this, they're lightweight, easy to get, easy to wear, kind of waterproof. They're great boots and they look great. They look timeless, and they look timeless because the design is timeless. It's a 100-year-old design that really hasn't changed and still look great, still look like you just bought them. They're fashionable. They don't look like you're wearing some boots that are 100 years old. They look like boots you just bought, so because you probably just did. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you on the next Derek Does. Thanks for watching.